Hi, my name is Katie Neisler, and I am here on Wednesday, January 24th, with your weekly wisdom. This is where I come on and give you guys a little bit of wisdom, hopefully, on how my week has been going and how we can, not my week specifically, but what energy has been coming up and how we can integrate that into our daily lives. This week, I've had a lot happen to me. I know it's only Wednesday, it's hump day, but it's been pretty combative and explosive. I hate to go into astrology and blame it on that, but there is Mercury and Pluto coming together, which creates this sort of push pull energy, especially around communication. And I had quite an experience today that gave me a lot of perspective on maybe where I show up in my own judgment on other people's paths, and where I show up where I don't absorb what other people are trying to give me. And earlier today, I tried to do a video and my phone freaked out on me and deleted everything. But what was coming through was this balance, this integration between self and group. So when we reach a certain point in our process, we become really connected to our inner guidance and really connected to what we have to say and what we know and what our experience has taught us, which is beautiful, beautiful to have and beautiful to ground into. But as we get that layer, there comes another wave that has to come through, and that is the wave of the group, of community. There's only so much that we can learn just by going within and learning from ourselves. There has to be this give and receive, give and take energy from a community and from the relationships we choose to interact with. And what I've been seeing a lot of this week, not only for myself, but with other people, is that we've become stuck in this I know energy. I know what's right for me, and I know what's right for you because it's right for me. And it creates this tension and this imbalance where maybe we both have pearls of wisdom that we're trying to give to each other, but no one's actually listening. So I think what really needs to happen is that we soften our listening ears, or if you have, that sounds very kindergarten, or if you think about it as a cup, we empty a little bit of our cup so that we have some room for other people's opinions and other people's experiences and other people's wisdom. Because if we don't have a little room for that, then our actual perspective and experience can't widen and can't change into something quite beautiful and grander. We will actually pigeonhole ourselves if we don't absorb what other people are trying to gift us. And there are instances where you just come at an impasse because you're so different and you're approaching things so differently. However, you still can absorb something from that experience. The experience I had today really taught me something about maybe I work a little too hard. Maybe I need to have more of that acceptance piece within myself, and I don't have to transform or be of service all the time, that I can be a little bit more. And I do believe what you are, who you are, and what you do go hand in hand, that they're not necessarily separate from each other. But it does give you a little bit of relief to go, oh, this is just me and I just have to be. And then of course in being, we are of service because we are being who we are and we're being drawn to what we want to be drawn to, and that then creates path and purpose and the ability to go out and put it into practice. So I offer to you this piece of wisdom to just be a little more humble in our approaches with other people. Be humble and listen. There's this beautiful song that came through a retreat that I've been to several times actually, and it's humble yourself in front of your brother. and humble yourself in front of your sister. You must know what they know, and you must know what you know, and we rise up together. So if we can humble ourselves to other people's experiences, we can rise together in the combined energy of how we both lived our lives to create something even better, to create something even better for yourself. There's always the ability to learn from somebody, and there's always the ability to absorb deeper the lessons that the universe has to give us. Because if we aren't participating in those in the group, we don't really know ourselves that well because we're isolating from a certain aspect of life. So learn the balance between self and group. Come back into come back into humility, and realize that even though we all know some things, we're all a little bit of a Jon Snow where we know nothing. So allow yourself to know nothing. It kind of gives you a little bit of freedom, that acceptance. Like, man, I I know some things, but I really do not know everything. And that gives freedom for new things to come into our life. It's actually a bit of a wall to life if you think about it. If you're so in the right and so in knowing exactly everything based on your perspective, new things can't get in, and you're like, why am I not receiving? Maybe because you don't have the answer. Maybe because someone else needs to give you the answer. So come back into humility, come back into humbleness. Find that balance between self and community, because when we're strong in ourselves, we find our space within the community where we don't compete and we just flow together in a beautiful give and receive. And when we're a part of community, we learn so much more about ourselves. So find that balance for yourself this week, this year. Commit to allowing new things into your life just because you're humble enough to allow them in. That is your weekly wisdom for this week. I hope it finds you well. Go ahead, click around more on my website. I have a newsletter that I'm going to be putting out, the first one in February. There's going to be an exclusive video, the monthly Outlook video. I'm still kind of playing around with what that looks like, but it's going to be exclusive to the newsletter. If you go on my website, there should be a pop-up that comes up where you can sign up. And there's also going to be exclusive deals on there if you've worked with me before, if you've referred somebody. It's just a good place to stay up to date on what I'm doing. All of these weekly wisdoms for the past month will be in that newsletter as well. So it's all in one place. All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Namaste.